What's up, everybody? This your boy, Mr. Pound for Pound himself, and it's definitely going down. We all know it's going down. If you don't know, you need to know. You know what I'm saying? September 15th, it's going down. And I could have swore, I got to go back and check, but I'm not sure right now. I don't got paper in front of me. I think that's the same day Chavez might fight Martinez. September 15th. And if it is, that's going to be a blockbuster day of boxing. I got to go back and check. I'm not quite sure. But if it is, it's going to be a classic day of boxing. We got vicious Victor Ortiz versus Saul Canelo Alvarez. Tell me that ain't going to be a good fight. That's going to be off the chain. That's going to be a barn burner. That's going to be punches thrown, punches landed, people sitting down on the canvas, people not getting up off the canvas. They both could go down. They both could get knocked out. This is about to be a great fight. I'm just going to touch real quickly on this fight because I'm really interested more or less in doing the post-fight, actually, more than my pre-fight. I'm actually becoming more of a post-fight guy now. You know what I mean? Anyways, but let me just give you little things about how I feel about the fight. Let's just run it down real quick. We all know that Saul Canelo Alvarez is only 21 years old. Young kid, young gun coming up. He's about 5'9". Vicious Victor Ortiz is about 25 years old, 26, somewhere in there. He's about the same height. So I love it as far as the mix-up, the matchup. You know, two young Mexican guys, two tough guys, two strong-minded guys, hungry in their primes, young, determined, wanting that top spot. As far as Victor Ortiz, I mean, he's been in there. You know what I mean? He's been in there with experienced dudes. I mean, we're talking Antonio Diaz, Nate Campbell, Vivian Harris, Lamont Peterson, Andre Berto, Floyd Mayweather Jr., which he got knocked out with that bullshit-ass punch that Floyd threw. That was a sissy-ass punch, Floyd. And then, also, just more recently, Josecito Lopez and stuff like that, that he has coming up. So he's experienced. The thing is, we need to see how he does against Lopez. I'm very interested to see that fight. It's kind of like a tune-up fight. He is expected to win the fight, even though Josecito Lopez is 29 wins, 17 knockouts with only 4 losses. He's a good fighter. Do I think Victor will get by him? Yeah, I think he'll get by him. And then he'll move on to fight Saul. And what I think is going to be a great fight. Now, Victor Ortiz has a lot of good things he does. He has a good jab. He has good defense. He has good combinations. On the other side of the fence with Saul, same shit. Good jab, good punches, great combinations. I think his combinations are better. And if you noticed, I said on Victor Ortiz's end, good combinations. On Saul, I think he has greater combinations. I think Alvarez, the difference here is, he's a lot. I think he's stronger than Ortiz. We're gonna find out during the fight. I think he's stronger than him. I think he's just as good, if not better. I think he's a stronger mentally as well as physically. I think he's just a tougher, grittier guy. Saul. He's the mean streets of Mexico. I can't even say where he's from because my Spanish isn't that good. But I know he's from Jalisco, Mexico. Jalisco, Mexico. I just can't say that first part. That first part is kind of long. But I mean, they're tough. You know what I'm saying? They're tough down there. The gyms down there, the way they train, the way they spar. I mean, Mexican boxing is nothing really tougher than Mexican boxing. Victor Ortiz is more like a Mexican American boxing. It's gritty. It's grimy too, but it's a little more pretty, a little more flashy. It's a little more Americanized. Saul is more gutter Mexican, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's going to be the difference in this fight, regardless of how good Victor Ortiz is. I just think Saul Alvarez is stronger. I think he's tougher mentally. I think he's young, and I think he's hungrier. From the outset of this fight, could be a really good fight. It just depends on what fight Victor wants to do, because athletically, I think Victor Ortiz is more athletic than Canelo. Faster? Yeah, I think he's faster than Canelo. He could probably outspeed him depending on what fight he wants to fight. Do I see Victor Ortiz fighting a boxer's fight and boxing around Canelo and trying to move and outspeed him? Absolutely not. At some point, Canelo will hit him. Canelo's not slow himself. He's also a quick dude. His punches come off very sharp. His counter punches are very nice and crisp. I always like to say, I think of Canelo as almost just kind of similar to Cotto, not really in a sense, but very similar, and he's just a little quicker and sharper. So, I think if Victor is to box, he has a good chance at making this fight interesting. Do I still think he wins even if he goes that route? No. Do I think he wins if he goes the route of going head on with Canelo? No, I don't think so either. I think Canelo I think he hits too hard, and his counter shots are too good. He has nice uppercuts, and he has a nice jab. I mean, he has a good enough jab to keep Victor on the outside. Victor's got some issues, and Victor's not necessarily the toughest guy mentally. I mean, we know that. Questions were all brought up about Victor Ortiz, and no one really changed their views on Victor until the Andre Berto fight, which I actually said he was going to win. But prior to the Berto fight, even against the good opposition he had, and even all the knockouts and KOs and that he had, Victor Ortiz still wasn't respected, really. I mean, if you really go back, he didn't really get respect until the Berto fight, which is much appreciated for him because he fought his ass off. Was Berto the best opposition? No. I've always thought Berto was just a sporadic fighter. He just fights in spurts. He's not great. If you have good stamina, you'll beat Berto every time. So, I mean, but prior to that, people were calling Victor Ortiz weak. They were calling him breakable. They were calling him, a sissy in a sense, that he's soft. No one has ever said that about Canelo Alvarez, and I don't think they will. That kid is grimy, dirty, gutter. He wants to knock your damn head off. And I think that mindset is going to outdo Victor Ortiz. Like I said, Victor Ortiz has the physical skills and talents to win the fight. Does he have it mentally? Maybe. We don't know. I think once you have a little bit of bitch in you, a little bit of quit, once you have a little bit of quit in you, it's always there. To me, in my mind, it's always there. And we've seen that from Victor Ortiz in the past. We haven't seen that from Canelo yet. Could Victor Ortiz be the one to bring it out in Canelo? Very possible. This is boxing, and we never know what happens in boxing. Very possible. Do I see it? Probably not. It's probably not going to happen. So my prediction on this fight, Saul Canelo Alvarez, this probably will go to decision. I'm going to go out on the line and say KO in 10. We'll make it exciting, okay? But, so yeah, Alvarez is going to knock Victor Ortiz out under 10 rounds. Okay, that is my pre-fight prediction. Everybody have a good, hot weekend. Stay safe. And God bless.